Why I come here regularly to Elite Orthosport to get my knees straightened out because there's a pain here and the pain there, but Heather always fixes it. So now listen to her carefully. She will fix your problems too.
Do your knees hurt when you walk upstairs, stand too long, or just try to get back in shape? You're not alone, and you're definitely not broken. Even elite athletes like Arnold Schwarzenegger have battled knee pain. But here's the difference: they know exactly why it happens and how to fix it before it gets worse. In this video, you'll discover 7 hidden reasons your knees hurt and simple ways to finally feel strong and pain-free again. You'll also learn the smartest recovery method most people skip, and a bonus tip that could instantly boost your strength by fixing one thing almost everyone overlooks. Reason number 1. Overuse and repetitive stress. Let's start with the most common cause of knee pain: overuse and repetitive stress. You don't have to be a runner or a weightlifter for this to happen. Just years of climbing stairs, walking on hard floors, or standing all day slowly wear down the cartilage in your knees. It builds up silently until one day you notice the pain.
I think that you start with the activities like squatting and lunging. If they're causing you pain, is that you break that down. And you break that down by saying, am I strong enough to do those exercises? Do I have the motion to do those exercises? And have I warmed up appropriately?
The good news: you can change this. Start by varying your movements. Swap repetitive exercises for something low impact like cycling or swimming. And don't underestimate the power of a rest day. Your knees will thank you. Reason number 2. Quad dominance. Most people don't realize it, but they're quad dominant. That means your quads are doing all the work, while your glutes and hamstrings just come along for the ride. The problem? When your quads overpower everything else, it puts massive pressure on the front of your knees, especially behind the kneecap.
When you excessively use your quads without any other balance of the hamstrings or the glutes, it increases the stress behind the kneecap. It tends to irritate the joint and feel pain. So that's why we're really particular about, are you using everything? Want a good balance of all the muscles working together?
That leads to pain during squats, lunges, even simple movements like standing up. The fix: shift the weight to the middle of your foot when training, and start strengthening the backside. Glutes and hamstrings are the real secret to balanced, pain-free knees. Reason number 3. Weak glutes and hamstrings. Most people think knee pain means something is wrong with the knee itself, but in many cases the problem starts behind it. When your glutes and hamstrings are weak, they can't support your hips and legs properly. That means your knees end up doing all the work, and they're not built for that kind of pressure.
We see professional athletes, they're active in competition right now, and that's their natural ready stance to be ready. But we have to supplement their training and their strengthening so that what we get the backside, the posterior chain of quads.
The fix? Start training the muscles that protect your knees. Add glute bridges and hamstring curls to your routine twice a week. These muscles act like shock absorbers, so the stronger they are, the less your knees suffer. Reason number 4. Lack of full knee extension. Here's a reason most people never think about: your knees might not be fully straightening. Tight hamstrings or calves can prevent full extension, and that's a big deal. Because if your knee stays slightly bent all the time, your quads never fully engage.
And one thing I think people get really concerned about, they think it's really important that they be able to bend their knee a lot. And it's actually one of the most forgotten things is you need to be able to straighten your knee. So if you have tight hamstrings and tight calves and your knees, you have a trouble with your knee going straight, your quads will never fully gain the strength that they need.
That means you're missing out on strength, and your knees take more stress with every step. So, what can you do? Stretch your calves and hamstrings daily, and pay attention during exercises. Can you fully lock out your leg without pain or resistance? Fix your extension, and you'll unlock more strength with less knee strain. Reason number 5. Arthritis and rough cartilage. If your knees feel stiff, grind when you move, or hurt more the deeper you squat, you could be dealing with early arthritis. Think of your cartilage like a smooth road. Over time, wear and tear creates cracks like a rough patch before potholes form. That grinding you feel? That's the joint losing its smooth glide.
If you don't have full extension in your knee, and you have, like most people that would have knee pain, and you have a little bit of arthritis, in the knee or behind the kneecap, which is sort of like, roughened up cartilage. It's not like a smooth road. It's sort of, right before a pothole would start to surface, you get those little cracks and things like that. That's what arthritis is going to look like.
But here's the key. You don't have to stop training. You just have to train smarter. Focus on isometric holds and partial range movements that don't trigger pain. These build strength without irritating the joint. Protect what cartilage you have because it's a lot harder to replace than to preserve. Reason number 6, fatigue and poor mechanics. Sometimes knee pain isn't about weakness, it's about bad timing. When you're tired, your form falls apart. Your body compensates, shifts weight in the wrong places, and suddenly, your knees are taking all the heat. It doesn't take much, just one sloppy rep at the end of a tough set or pushing through pain when your body's screaming for rest. The fix? Know your limits, train with control, and if your form breaks down, stop. One clean rep is worth more than 10 painful ones. Pain is often a signal, not a challenge. Reason number 7, overtraining and lack of recovery. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger admits it. His biggest mistake was overtraining.
I know that there have been moments where I squatted for 10 reps with 500 pounds, and then there were times where I couldn't do with 200 pounds a squat because it was so painful. So it wasn't really that much about I don't have the strength. It was so sensitive, it was so overtrained.
He pushed through pain, lifted heavy day after day, and paid the price with serious knee issues. The truth is, your muscles get stronger when you rest, not when you train. And if you don't allow your knees to recover, inflammation builds up, mechanics break down, and injury becomes almost guaranteed. Want to protect your knees long term? Schedule recovery days. Use ice after heavy sessions. Try low-resistance cycling or gentle movement to keep the blood flowing. Sometimes, doing less is what gets you further. Recovery tips. Now that you know what's causing your knee pain, let's talk about recovery because recovery isn't just about resting. It's about the right kind of movement. According to Heather Milligan, Arnold's longtime physical therapist, the best medicine for your knees isn't medication, movement itself. Gentle activity like using a stationary bike with low resistance keeps joint fluid circulating. That's what delivers nutrients to your cartilage. Think of it like changing the oil in your car. If the fluid isn't moving, things start to break down. So on days you're sore, don't shut down, stay in motion. Just move smarter. Bonus tip. Here's one bonus tip most people never hear: if you can't straighten your knee fully, you're leaving strength on the table. Physical therapist Heather Milligan explains it like this. Your quad is like your tricep. If you never lock it out, it never fully develops. That tiny bit of bend, whether from tight calves, hamstrings, or swelling, puts constant stress on your kneecap and blocks full quad activation. So before you chase heavier weights or tougher workouts, ask yourself, can I fully extend my knee, pain-free? Fix that one thing, and everything else gets easier. Knee pain doesn't mean you're broken, and it doesn't have to hold you back. Whether it's overuse, muscle imbalances, or just tight joints, now you know what's causing it, and more importantly, how to fix it. If this video helped you, hit that like button so more people can find real relief. And subscribe for more science-backed strategies to move better, train smarter, and feel stronger at any age.